Hey, my name is TJ and I'm going to teach you how to create Google Dynamic Search Ads in 2025. First, it's important to understand what these are, how they work, and what's the point of them really at all. So essentially what they do is when you create these types of campaigns in Google, what will happen is Google will crawl your website and then it can create a dynamic ad that pulls from the content on your website. So for example, let's say you're selling a USA themed sweatshirt, which is the example I'll go through today. What will happen is Google is going to read that landing page, look at the title of the product, it's going to look at the description, it's going to look at any other info, the meta description, your H1 tags, all that good stuff, and then it'll create the ad that it thinks is most relevant for users. So now basically Google's going to be able to look at your pages and say, okay, what's the best ad that I can create given what you have given me on the website? So that being said, you have to also consider, well, should I even create these ads if I don't have good H1 tags, good meta description? Basically, if your SEO is not set up right, do not run these campaigns. You can pause the video right now and then go work on that and then come back. So I don't want you to waste your time or your money doing that. The main effectiveness that I find from these campaigns is to run them. Then what happens is Google, as it starts running, you start showing up for search terms and keywords that you might not have originally thought of to bid on, and you might get conversion on. So what it does, it helps farm out new ideas and new searches to show up for. If you're thinking, hey, in the example I give for a US crew neck sweatshirt, if you just type that in as the only keyword in a regular search campaign to bid on, these new DSA campaigns I'm going to show you how to build kind of help you figure out new potential search terms to show up for. And then you can take those and move those into a separate campaign and do a bunch of other things. But in this video today, I'm just going to show you how to create the campaign, how to structure it, and get started. And before we start, I am going to show you what Google shares in their own, Google Ads documentation on their website, what their best practices are. Basically, what this is showing is kind of who these ads are for and are not for. But in this case, the best practices are right here. So dynamic search ads aren't recommended if your website changes rapidly. For instance, if you have daily deals or daily pop-up things that aren't there for a long time. So there's some clients we have where they have limited drops and their inventory isn't going to be the same all the time. Well, it's really hard to run those campaigns because dynamic search ads won't have the ability to learn. So if you have a product like I was using earlier, these crew neck sweatshirts, that it's always in stock and you always that's your main product, you're always selling it, great. These campaigns will do well. Dynamic search ads, like I said, work best for websites with good HTML, page titles, and clearly written content. So essentially good SEO. Dynamic search ads work best with good, well-optimized pages. And the most important thing, which I don't feel like I hear people talk about enough, is you got to look at your search term reports. So if you run this campaign, you don't just set this up and then forget about it for 2 weeks and then come back and go, oh, it's not working. Well, it's going to show up for a bunch of random search terms. So this means you need to go in. My recommendation and what we do as a team is we go in every single day and add in negative search terms and negative keywords to help cultivate this campaign type to go after the right target audience. And so once you start doing that, then your campaign gets stronger and stronger and then can really develop into like a really well-oiled machine. So if you're not doing that or you don't have the time or you don't have somebody on your team to have the time to do it, I really don't recommend this campaign. But if you do, it becomes really, really powerful. Also, Google's going way more towards these automated advertising types, so it's better to get on board and figure out how to work it and get used to it. Okay, here's another call out from Google that I wanted to talk about. So what Google talks about here is before you write your ads, improve your website. The quality of your website is as important as the quality of your ads. So in this particular case, I would argue that the quality of your landing page on your website is more important than the quality of your ad, because in the campaign type we're building, these dynamic search ads, it is only built off of what's on your website. So if your landing page sucks, like I said, your ad is going to suck. I can't reiterate that enough. So and the only feature that you write yourself is the descriptions for the ads. And so you'll see that as we go through and keep this in, you'll see this as we go through and build out the ads. Another thing is keeping mobile in mind. Dynamic search ads can appear on mobile to customer searching, browsing. This is just a good rule of thumb. You should always make sure your site's optimized for mobile. In my opinion, mobile first. Make sure your site is accessible and then create single landing page campaigns. If your website domain contains pages in multiple languages, you want to target your ads. You don't want to target your ads to every single page. You should create a new landing page for each of those languages. Essentially, just follow best practices. I think that there's a lot of people that in a lot of companies we work with that before sometimes they don't look at these things or even know that this is an important part of kind of getting your campaign set up in the right direction. So what I always recommend is look at some of this documentation first. Make sure you're following all these like standard optimization practices and then go build the campaign. All right, that's enough. Let me get into the actual structure. All right, so what you're gonna do is go to the campaign level, click create a new campaign. In this scenario, we're assuming you're trying to generate sales. Use these conversion goals. If you don't have your conversion goals set up, pause the video, go watch my other video on how to set up conversion goals. But in this case, you only wanna have your final conversion event. You do not wanna have add to cart, begin checkouts, and purchases all as your primary event. Why? Because Google is going to go and say, oh, if I get an add to cart or a begin checkout, I'm completing a conversion for you. That's great, right? No, that does not mean I'm making any money. Turn these off. And if you hear any other video say something other than this, run. Don't watch it. All right, keep going. We'll go down to search because these are going to be dynamic search ads, website visits. Just going to go ahead and grab the URL that I'm going to use for this example. Right, hit paste. I'm just going to call this DSA campaign. All right, we'll click start new. And then in this case, we're going to want to use maximize conversions because it's a new campaign. Eventually, if you're, again, optimizing for e-com, you'll switch over to maximize conversion value. But in this case, we'll do maximize conversions because we're just launching it now. Turn off Google Search Partners and Google Display Network. Almost never do you want to use. You like never want these on. Essentially, these will just spend your money on a bunch of third-party placements that are low quality and don't get you high-quality clicks. You might say, TJ, well, when I have these on, my CPCs are so much cheaper. Or if you don't know and you've never done this before, when you turn these on, you'll notice that your CPC gets a lot cheaper. The reason for that is Google can charge you 5 to 10 cents just to show up on any random website. And that's what the display and search partners networks do. So anyway, never use those. Make sure you put your location on. A lot of people miss this button as well. So this location option, always hit presence because presence or interest, depending on your business. But if you're in e-com, oftentimes you won't find that people who are regularly in or traveling aren't necessarily willing to buy a product. Typically, people will purchase if they're in kind of where they live. So you always want to hit presence. Broad match keywords, turn this off. We're not using keywords, but this is a default thing that I've been using and can really screw up accounts. Automatically created assets. I like using this because I'm in the accounts every day. If you're not going to check your ads every day, I would not turn this on. In our particular case, we're going to turn it on. So now this is where some ad accounts might look different depending on when you watch this. Even if you live on the other side of the country, you might notice you have a different style Google ad account. In this particular case, sometimes you'll see dynamic search ads at the bottom here. If you see it, go ahead and click it and use it. In this case, I don't have it. A lot of people run into this problem where they think that, oh, I don't have access to it. You do, and I will show you how to get there. So we'll hit next. We're going to skip through all this. We're actually going to skip this as well. And then go ahead and just set a random budget just to get the ads approved. Click next. And then next, what you're going to want to do is you'll be able to publish your campaign. And boom, you're done. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, now go to the campaign and go to the ad group level. Create a new ad group, and now you'll be able to create your dynamic search ads. So in this case, I'll click dynamic here. And then I can go ahead and begin my kind of dynamic ad build. So the way you typically want to do this is you want to be specific about what you're doing. So let's say I'm going to use this crew neck example for you. So USA crew neck sweatshirt. Okay. So I'm typing that in. So what I'm going to do is click specific pages, keep on exact URLs. I'm going to go back to my website here, go to USA crew necks, go to this one, go ahead and click it. Now this is the URL I'm grabbing. I want to drive people to this one. And then I copy, paste it in, and now I click add. Boom, bada boom, bada bing. We're done. Okay, so now what we're telling Google is it will read this specific URL and then create ads that are the most relevant for users' searches and drive people to this page. Now I'll click Save and Continue. Now it's going to ask me to create 2 descriptions like I said earlier. I'm going to go ahead, for the sake of this video, just grab them off here. Celebrate your patriotism with this classic crew neck. Great. Okay, we'll use that as one. And then we're going to use show off your USA pride in a minimalistic and cozy way. Perfect. All right, drop these in. Done. So now you can see on the right side here, celebrate your patriotism with this classic fit crew neck, show off your, so these are the descriptions. What you'll see is dynamically generated headline. So Google will be able to go create this for us, and we don't have to worry about that now. Now that's one ad. You can create several of these. You can create up to 10 or 20. I would recommend to at least create 3 for every single ad group you create. In this particular case, I always like to start when I create my DSA campaigns around my top selling products. So now I click Save and Continue, and I'm done. So as you can see, these are really fast campaign builds that you can do. In this case, now I would want to pause this one. This is the old one because I don't want that one to run. And this is my only dynamic search ad campaign or ad group. So now if I wanted to do another one, I'd hit plus, go ahead and click dynamic again. And then I would go back into my website. Let's say I wanted to do maybe, this embroidered pickup truck one. If I wanted to use this one, I could go ahead and then grab this site URL and put it down here. And if I paste that URL, I would be able to create another one. It'll also give you suggestions. So in this case, I don't have a ton because this is kind of a dummy website I use for videos like this. But you can see how it was able to see that I'm selling coloring books on this website as well. You can see here how it was able to create this coloring book headline for this dynamic URL. And then it gave this headline below. So that's a good example of it. And when you do this in your own ad account, if you've had your website around for a while and you've been running your ads, you'll probably see a few of these options in here as well. I always like to do specific web pages first and then start there. And the last thing I'll leave you with here is the most important part. So you've been running this, let's assume you've been running it for 2 weeks. What'll happen is you're going to want to know, okay, how's it performing? You might go up into insights and reports and click search terms, and then you'll get all your search terms, right? And that's awesome, and it could be under that ad group. But what you really want to do is go into your dynamic ad targets, and then under each dynamic ad target, click this checkbox, and then hit search terms. Then you'll see the exact search term for each landing page, and that's where the real money is at for you to figure out, okay, what's working, what's not. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Peace.